This is Bryson versus Grady. Just remember everything we just talk about here. Just looking to give you the best information we can, so you guys can get better. Again, I'm probably pointing out more good mistakes than good things, just because it's what we want you to be aware of. So first thing let's start with is the serve, Bryson. So first thing we want to look at is where the toss location is. So your toss is past 12 o'clock. It's around 1 o'clock where you're hitting it. You're actually almost going to hit it like 2. So a couple things are happening. You're having to open up completely wide to the court, and the racket face is going to actually sometimes open up on you because you're having to go so far over. Okay, we'll let the point play out from here and then go back and review it. Okay, so something we're going to pay attention to kind of just throughout this point is the shape of the backhand for Grady. And the other thing I would strongly recommend is you're a developmental level tennis player, you consistently run around your forehand. So you want to make sure you're developing both sides of your game as much as you can. And this is a practice match. You're not focused on winning. Practice isn't about winning, it's about making improvements. So the big thing is your spacing on your backhand. You're going to see you consistently have a bent right elbow, and it will get straighter as you go, but oftentimes that is because the ball's already gone. So you have a path that goes consistently across. So we're going to see a few backhands. Look how close and bent the elbow is. So the racket's closed here, which is fine, but you never have enough spacing to really swing out from the shoulders. You're always going to have to pull across from the forearms, and we're just going to see that in backhand after backhand. I know it's your favorite shot, but you can improve it even more. So let's go to the forehand now. Your forehand consistently goes low and then high. It's not a high, low, high shot. So you're going to struggle on any balls that get above your shoulder level because you're constantly going straight low. Okay, and we're going to see the same path. You could hit this ball a lot bigger if you had a longer contact zone. And then Bryson, for you, it's just make him hit a volley. Don't miss this wide. Okay. Let's go to the next point. Okay, so on this one, so Bryson, I brought this one up because I like the tracking motion of your backhand here. So you turn, you don't pull across your body. You actually go out in a defensive mode. That's overall a good habit to have on your return to serve. And we're going to see that, Grady, you're going to go long here, and let's look at some of the technical aspects. So to me, once again, so your racket's high, it goes straight to low. Your racket should be hanging up at the top of the Ferris wheel for a bit longer, and then you wouldn't have to come from so below this ball because you end up hitting this ball around shoulder level. So you don't have such a low path. But I want you to see right here is where you can kind of see you're going to pull right across that ball, and you're going to open the face up slightly. And that it's just a thin lifting pattern that's going to float your ball long. So you just want to get the shoulder to swing inside out and really connect through the ball instead of having that thin contact. Let's go to the next point. Okay, we'll let this point play through. It's at 8:17. It might be the point after this one. Let's see. Yeah, it's right there. Second serve. Serve. Okay. So let's go through a couple things here. Here comes the serve. So overall, you hit a great spot on your serve. So Bryson, it's a minus from you, but it is a good serve. But on your return to serve, if you could track through it more instead of being so down, you'd get the ball a lot deeper. So the approach, once again, we're hitting a backhand. And then let's go to your overhead. This is where you're completely palm open right here. So instead of kind of keep treat it more like a football, you're going to end up kind of pointing and then laying open the palm. And now you got a ton of racket work to come back over the ball, and you're going to snap it down into the net. You want to think about the overhead being a hitting up motion, but you can only have the hitting up motion if your racket face is closed. Okay, let's go look at your serve, Bryson, from this side. Okay, so we've got double fault here. Let's go through the reasons. Okay, so you have some coil, but you're going to kind of go down and up really quick. We would like you to stay coiled a little bit longer, and then we're going to look at your racket. It's going to work way over your head on the other side. So you're tossing it like 2 or 3 o'clock, and you're opening up extremely early, so you're going to unintentionally hit a lot of balls into people's forehands that are right-handed. So this toss has got to get way further out to the right, and then that when you comb the hair for the serve or you salute, it really should be just the tip of your racket going over, not the whole. It shouldn't be your hand that goes over the top of your head, because now you got to reduce your swing radius. Okay, so just kind of look at the body position. You open up a ton, and this is really just stemming from the toss location. You don't stay sideways to hit the serve. Okay, we'll go to the next point. Okay, so first thing we're going to address, we're going to look at your backhand, Bryson, that starts the rally out. Now, obviously, if we go every serve, we're going to see the same pattern on your serve, just over and over again. So let's look at your backhand. You can kind of see here, you're just too close to the ball. So the split step, okay, find the distance, because you have to pull right in across this. You can see both of your elbows are bent, and you're just going to hit it's not a great ball. It's a relative minus that they start to take control of the point, and that's what happens on each successive ball. Every ball you get a little further behind, so kind of watch. With the backhand, it doesn't do a whole lot, and then we've got a forehand, and it's landing. It's pretty slow. It's got some depth only because it's real high, but it's still not a huge, ball that's going to push him back. And so every shot, he's making a little bit of progress to get you further and further behind in terms of time to react. Okay, let's look at this. We can't quite see that backhand. But we're going to kind of see a consistent theme is you don't track out to the target long enough. That's why you tend to have mishits off the bottom of your frame, is because you'll quickly pull up and into your body instead of really tracking inside out towards the target. All right, let's go to the next point. So let's kind of go after the serve. We've got, a relative minus from Grady here. And my question is, what's the purpose of this return? It's a minus, or approach, excuse me. So if you're going to hit this, your racket face is tracking open and across the ball. It's going to be thin. It's going to give him tons of time. He doesn't hit a great passing shot, but, and then there's another minus from your volley. The racket face is wide open, and you're cutting down. There's no impact on the ball, so now he's got another chance to pass you. So it's just consistently starting to understand you have to come in with aggression, but your technique needs to allow it, and your technique is cutting down and across. It's a thin ball. So, you're going to get away with this at 4 and 5 level. You can't beat people that are 6s, 7s, 8s, okay, hitting the ball like that. All right, let's go into the last point that I'll review here. But you guys should watch this I've already uploaded the raw footage, so you guys should have watched your point and just start to pick up the technical stuff that's got to work. You guys have to work on. I do his serve yet. Let's talk a little bit, Grady, about your serve here. So this looks fine, relaxed. You stay low, but you want you to watch. First thing that pops out to me on your serve is your right shoulder. It tosses up and you know to tuck it, but it drops actually really quick. So it's even though you're tucking your right shoulder, it still is pulling you downward. That tossing arm should keep rising and give you some more time. And then you wouldn't be pulling downwards, okay? And still, same thing, you're going to see you open up a little bit more than we want at the hit, and that's that right side. Let's go into your legs. Your legs don't actually turn back towards the camera, so you could get a lot more lower half coil. Okay. The racket works much better than on your overhead in terms of not, it's not palm open. So that would be my big takeaway, though, is your big thing to work on is just fixing up your right side of your body. And I think that's going to help. And then just Bryson, this return to serve is a minus. What is the goal here? Okay, it's an open racket face. You're going to cut right down. It's just consistent. You just consistently have to hit good balls in play to get to the next level. And then, Grady, let's go back and kind of see the backhand. You're pulling in across, and you just know it from that elbow position because it's bent, and it stays bent across. So you've got to get away from the ball more so you can really lengthen out to the target. Okay. So anyways, those are kind of the big takeaways on the strokes. Just more inside out swinging, and let's go to Barty's forehand real quick. This has been one of my favorite things to look at. Let's see. Why can't I see desktop here? We'll find it over here. Okay, let's watch the Barty forehand. Look at the difference of the ball striking. So the racket goes high, it goes low, it goes out. Okay, so look at this. This isn't as many clips of. I wish we had a slower mo. You could see even more. But look, look at the extension coming out of the shoulder. There's no pulling in, and now it relaxes. So you want that same math on both your forehands and your backhands, hitting out away from the body longer, and just trusting that inside-out path with the closed racket face. So, anyways, those are a couple main things to kind of take away. Let's see if we can see it again. Give you another forehand to look at. Just watch Alcaraz. Look at the distance away. Remember, you don't need a straight arm. You can have a bent arm because your grip forces you to have a bent elbow, but you can't be pulling in across the ball.